do that. Maybe later today.
Welcome and good morning. Today is Tuesday, February 14th. I hereby call the House Corrections Subcommittee to order. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Butler. Here. Representative Eldridge. Here. Representative Kiesling.
Yes.
Representative McCalman. Here. Representative Miller. Representative Powell. Present. Chairman Hurt.
Here.
Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, members, before we get started, are there any personal orders? Seeing none, we do have a calendar today with our first bill on it and one bill, and it is House Bill 452 by Chairman Russell. Do I have a motion and a second? Motion. Properly motioned and seconded. Do I see an amendment on this bill, Mr. Sponsor?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. It's 003915.
Thank you. Without objection, we'll go ahead and add the amendment to the bill. Do I have a motion and second? Motion. Motion second. Properly motion seconded. Sponsor, would you like to discuss the amendment, or we want to go ahead and add it and then discuss the bill as amended?
The amendment makes the bill, so okay. If we could just add it, that would be wonderful.
Sounds good. Without objection, we'll be voting to add the amendment to the bill. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. Chairman Russell, you are now recognized on the bill as amended.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. House Bill 452 as amended would require a prisoner of a county workhouse or jail who is released from custody on a work release or otherwise allowed to leave the grounds of a county workhouse or jail for employment or to perform work in the community, whether paid or unpaid, to use an electronic monitoring device at all times when the prisoner is not on the grounds of the county workhouse or jail. It requires the employer or person utilizing the prisoner for work to pay the cost of the electronic monitoring device, and they are an exception whenever the prisoner is supervised by an armed law enforcement or corrections officer and remains in direct eyesight of the armed law enforcement or correction officer. With that, I renew my motion.
Thank you, Mr. Sponsor. Any questions to the sponsor of the bill, members?
Call for the question.
If you'll withdraw that, I've got a question. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sponsor, we discussed this last night, and I wanted to kind of clarify, because it's not in my district, but in my area next to me, we have a lot of the work release programs that are very successful, and employers utilize them, and it's very beneficial. So you mentioned that the employer or the person utilizing these services will be responsible for paying for the ankle bracelets. How is that done now? Does this change how it's done now from your understanding?
So it wouldn't change anything. The way it's done now is the money is taken out of the inmate's check, and the average, I think, is like $4 per day, and that's taken out and paid that away. So the sheriff's office is not responsible for any amount of money.
Okay, the way I understand it now, in speaking, I guess my first question or the next question on that would be, have you talked to many of the people that utilize these programs? Because I'm under the understanding that right now the sheriff's office holds it out, but the employer does not have to pay for it. This sounds like it's going to require the employer to pay for it, whereas currently the sheriff's office was being paid for the use of the ankle bracelet.
Well, at the end, it would be coming from the employer through the sheriff's office, because the employer pays the inmates through the sheriff's office, and they would withhold it from the pay that the employer pays the inmate. So okay. It would come from the employer, but not directly. But
okay, thanks for the clarification.
Thank you.
Members, without objection, no more questions, we will be voting on the bill to move it to state government full. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. Bill moves on to state government full.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sponsor. Members, that concludes our calendar today. But before we adjourn, last week our esteemed chairman was not in here, Chairman Full, Chairman Kiesling was not in here to briefly introduce himself, and I'd like to allow him the opportunity to say a few words.
Well, that's very kind of you, Chairman. I appreciate that, and I'd be remiss if I didn't, on behalf of each one of you all on this committee, wish every one of our ladies in this room right now a happy Valentine's Day. Don't you think? Yes, we do. Represent District 38. It begins just north of us at Westmoreland, on the outskirts of Westmoreland, and it proceeds eastward along that Kentucky border, almost to I-75. Counties of Macon, Clay Pickett, Scott, and I share the upper half, or I share Fentress County with the gentleman, with our counterpart, our committee member, colleague down at the end, Representative Butler. He has the southern half, and I have the northern half of Fentress County. But anyway, married 51 years in, 3 children, 7 grand, 3 great. It's been a pretty good ride here. I'm concluding my, just concluded the 12th year, and so here we go. But I'm honored to serve with each and every one of you, and I look to my left down there to Chairman Eldridge. What a guy! I appreciate he's watched my back for the past few years, and I'm so grateful to that. And but it's an honor to serve with all of you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, Chairman, and thank you. It's great to serve with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chairman Kiesling. We appreciate you. And members, also in my haste last week, I forgot to mention one other member of our staff here that is one of the most important. I'd like to also say thank you and welcome to our Sergeant at Arms, Tyler Muniz.
Amen.
So, thank you, sir. We appreciate what you do for us. So, members, without any further discussion, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned.